Are you actually going to drive that thing on the road? Or is
no, next year it's considered a historic vehicle. 25 years, so I'm going to put a historic plate on this.
Ooh.
And it's only going to cost me $30 to
Is it cheaper? Is it cheaper to register a historic vehicle versus like a?
Yeah, dude, it's $30.
I should
for 10 years.
Oh,
So
I should register my my Mini as a Mitsubishi 1991 because then I'd be exempt, right?
The VIN number for it.
Yeah, I feel like somebody would look at it and be like, "That's obviously not a." Yeah. It's weird that the VIN stays with the chassis and not with the engine and everything that matters. But oh well. So it's gonna be a V8. You have any goals for this car?
Road racing. Destroy it, beating the shit out of it. You know? Have fun.
Naturally.
I want just a reliable, cheap, high torque linear monster. So that's how I want the V8.
Okay. Any plans to turbo or supercharge it? Anything like that? So you want to keep it NA? You gonna cam the crap out of it, or?
Yeah, it can. It should be making about 500 tops at the wheel.
Okay.
Which is plenty of power.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if I was gonna boost this, I would have boosted. I would have gone with rotary.
Okay.
Because I want that reliability.
Mm-hmm.
I want that bang for buck performance. It's just hard to beat.
Not to mention just the ability to be able to actually use it, go into any AutoZone and get a part for it. Mm-hmm. You know, and also being up here so close to Detroit, like yeah, I'm sure you could pick this up like cheap. You know, oh, I blow, pull it out, buy another one for a couple $100 and swap the good parts or whatever. And
yeah, it just gotta make sense. It fits beautifully.
Oh yeah, you got so much clearance. You probably have more clearance than I do on some parts.
Yeah. No, just meant to be like transmission tunnel, no issues.
Nice.
No modifications. Just drops right in.
You bought adapter mounts for it, or did you weld up a tubular subframe? Looks like.
Yeah. So this is from a company called Sandberg. They built these kits. So the subframe is probably it was like $1,500 or something online.
Okay.
You just buy the transmission mount, take off the stock one, put this on.
I couldn't imagine the effort to like fully DIY it versus for $1,500 the amount of time that you save is tremendous.
Yeah, part of me want to do like V12, V10 swap.
What, like the Viper engine or like Ferrari, like V10
Viper,
and V12?
Well, because I mean, obviously I can't afford a Ferrari.
Yeah,
but
I feel like you can get one off like a junkyard if you found it.
Yeah,
like
Ryan Turk.
Perfect. Yeah, Ryan Turk the crap out of it.
RX 7458.
Just RX 458 probably.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, we should be fun. We should be reliable.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing too with the race cars. It's not fun when it's always broken.
Yeah, that's the thing with my Evo. Like I'm always like worrying about the heat soak. I'm worrying about lines popping off.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something that could happen.
You ever get issues with the open dump on the top?
Not really. I mean, the wastegate, the valve is closed, so.
When does it open, and what PSI are you actually running on this?
Right now it's 32 PSI.
And which turbo trim?
It's FP Black.
FP Black, okay.
So like 35 R basically.
Okay.
But yeah, it hits based around 5,000 RPM. It's pretty hard.
I can imagine with that much lag, it just all punches up top.
Yeah.
That's awesome though. 6-speed manual transmission?
It's 5-speed.
5-speed.
Yeah.
Okay. Beware Asian driver. Cracks me up every time. Side exit exhaust. Does that ever get annoying? I might end up doing that with the Mini. So
pretty ridiculous.
Is it okay?
I mean, I can start it up, actually.
Yeah. Straight piped?
Yeah. It's loud. It's a cold start too. So
oh, that's brutal.
It's full on cold start.
Jeez. It's insane. And then this FD.
Certain B.
Okay.
It's got a couple mods, bolt-ons. I'm actually going to be selling this weekend.
That's right.
In 2 days, actually.
To a very lucky guy, it sounds like.
Friend of mine, actually.
Good friend.
You just got to, I mean, I have too many toys sitting around.
Right. I can imagine it's hard to have not only project car but 2 FDs already. Plus, you've got a Datsun 280.
Yes, sir.
And you said that
running.
that's running. Okay, is that original or?
This is full restoration.
Okay.
Basically, it's complete rebuild from chassis to every part is part recorded.
Jeez.
L28 rebuild. But I'm gonna keep this L28, but stroke it to 3 liter probably.
Okay.
And try to keep it. I'm gonna keep it NA for sure, and
Mm-hmm.
then try to hit 250 at the wheels.
What's the weight on this?
I don't know. It's listed.
Sounds like it's got to be
I think
light.
It's listed 2000. I forgot.
Oh yeah, the curb weight.
I don't know if it says here. It's a 78.
Okay.
Yeah, this is not even right.
Jeez.
Curious.
And then you said this old BMW is your friends or roommate?
Yeah, that's my roommate. 2002 BMW. Well, not the year 2002, but it's a 74, I believe. 2000 BMW 2002. He runs and drives actually. He is gonna obviously
Restore the interior or
interior and exterior.
race car gut it?
No. I think it's gonna be
Just a
like
fun,
my Datsun,
Okay.
Street car, fun
full
street car.
restoration. Well, you can have a street race car.
Sure.
According to the internet, you can street anything, right?
Yeah, of course. I did it my Evo from time to time.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty crazy.
E46 M3. This one's for sale. My roommate's not a BMW guy.
Mm. Any restrictions up here on the exhaust? Like, do you ever get trouble from the police on being above any decibel limits or anything like that?
Not at all. Not at all.
Must be because Michigan.
Yeah, I used to live in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah, they'll write you up for
New
anything.
Jersey's even worse. Every time I went to New Jersey,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
too loud. It's too loud.
Oh, too much tint. It's
Japanese.
yeah,
Actually, I get that in Michigan. You're too Japanese.
yeah. It's too Japanese.
Yeah, I get that because it's Motor City.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't get more grief from Detroit people.
I mean, they're all car people. Most of the people call
Right.
but it's not-
Yeah, and like I said before, I'm definitely more of the whatever's good.
Yeah.
I don't have any alliances or allegiances. If it's Chrysler, if it's Mopar versus Ford versus, freaking Toyota, like a good part's a good part.
Yeah,
So.
I don't give a shit. I had a Z06 Corvette, and that was a great car.
Oh
The
yeah.
only problem is, it's everywhere.
Exactly. And everyone from grandmas to young kids that got a really, really too nice of a gift.
Yeah, exactly. And most of them are midlife crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Z06.
Mhm.
Whatever the base model was, Z06 bits and pieces.
Right. Yeah, my dad did have wasn't really midlife crisis because he was in his 30s, but he did have a few Corvettes. He had the C4 when that first came out, and then he had the C5 as well, which was
C5
pretty
is nice.
fun.
C5 is probably the best bang for buck race car.
Oh, yeah, there's so much you can do to it. But the other thing, too, he kept it stock. He didn't do anything with it. He kept it for almost 15 years,
No.
and you just enjoyed it. But it's funny looking at the specs of something that's a 2001 and having it be so outdated, from only 15 years ago, and being like, oh, 350 horsepower, like,
Yeah.
oh, in a Corvette? Are you kidding? These come stock with like 500,
It's funny how they advertise that in the badge too.
Oh, yeah.
It says like 405 on the badge, and like that's it.
Mm-hmm. Like 405, that's I have to crank, transmission, 6-speed, T56, so you're looking at like maybe 350, 320 at the wheels, something like that. And I just got the throttle body overboard as well, which did make a huge difference. It did bump it a little bit, but again, it's so hard to tell with your butt how much your, improvement is until you actually get strapped down on a dyno and run it.
Sure.
But I am looking at doing a rebuild on it too, just this winter. Just kind of, redeck the heads, make sure everything's good, rebuild the turbo, upgrade to a 62 or 67, 66. Can't remember which way it goes.
No, it's
Upgrade the compressor wheel. 62, 67. I'm too tired to think about it. But yeah, just get a little bit more power out of it. Not so much extra lag because it's the same turbine housing and wheel. Just, get into the 550 range with the wheels. I don't know. I don't think cars will ever be satisfied. because every time you do something, you're gonna have this thing running, ripping down the track, and then you're gonna get beat by a Porsche, and you're gonna say,
"Yeah, no, it's
son of a bitch."
It's gonna be annoying. If anything, I'll add crazy arrow.
Okay.
Go wider.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe go lighter. Because I gotta keep it reliable. I think 500 wheel is on my LS engine. It's a good amount of power.
Factory pistons, everything else.
Yeah, it's all
that is a benefit.
I pretty much rebuilt the entire engine from bearings to cleaning the pistons rods, checking the clearance on the rings and all that.
Just factory spec or
factory spec.
Okay.
Except the head is built and then it's also ported.
Okay, so ported, polished, same size valves, anything like that?
Valves are same size, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, the head flows pretty well already. With ported, you should be making 480, 490, close to 500. The problem with LS engine is the oil control. So I have AccuSump, I'm on oil cooler,
right?
Additional oil capacity in there. High pressure oil pump.
Well, you've got the space to do a dry sump, so
yeah, no, I don't.
You've got.
I got AccuSump, so that's good enough.
Right, pretty much.
Oil pan baffles. So it should be it should be fun.
You got a timeline on this? When it's going to be running?
Soon.
Okay. So we won't be lining up my Mini in this anytime soon.
No. Honestly, if I put 2 weekends into it, it'll be finished.
Yeah. Is it just putting on the parts? Is that all that's left, really? The work is done. It's just assembly, or?
Yeah, the core work is done. I had to finish wiring. I already did the wiring harness. I just have to plug it in and see if it starts or catches on fire. And then just tightening everything up. Couple lines, couple electrical parts.
That's awesome. All you gotta do is finish it. What, first of the season come? What's the season start up here? April? Ooh.
May, April.
Holy crap.
Mid-April.
Starts getting I remember it being like really cold in May. So yeah,
March is definitely too cold.
Oh yeah, for sure. Snowing. It was still snowing. Like we went to Chicago in March to get the Miata, and everything was snowing. The trains were coming in covered in snow. We're just like,
April.
Apocalyptic.
April probably ought to get it finished for sure. But I want to get it finished by February, March.
We gotta get some tuning time in, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you running a standalone ECU, anything like that? Or are you just GM ECU and then hacking it or anything like that?
GM ECU, yes.
Nice.
We should be fine. If I get sponsors, hell
yeah. Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense to dump money where I don't need to.
Right. It's actually like with I was kind of the same way with the Mini Cooper. People ask me, why don't you do like DSM Link and that kind of stuff? And part of it, I had no idea what any of that is. Like, I was like EEPROM, ECU, all this other stuff. It's OBD1. It's so rudimentary that it's beyond me to measure stuff and with an altimeter. Like, why can't I get gauge values? Oh no, you're just gonna figure out it blinks like this when it's this.
It's like CAN bus or
right. Oh yeah, I love CAN bus. I love being able to actually sit there and just OBD2 scan something and figure out exactly what's going on, and point me in the right direction, sort of thing. But
simple is best, I think, in my mind.
It can be. It can definitely be the most reliable. But what I find is it leaves deficiencies in other areas. Like simple, you can get a lot more, let's say with a carbureted LS. You can get a lot of good power out of it. It's simple, it's reliable, but at the same time, you're leaving a little bit on the table without having that actual control.
Yeah, there's always room to grow. Definitely.
Oh, for sure.
Aftermarket ECU have different gain power, but is it worth the $1,500?
Right, is it $1,500 to gain 20 horsepower, or whatever? But maybe, the traction control, the launch control, depending on, if you're road racing, launch control doesn't really matter.
There's no speed sensors anymore, so...
so you got rid of the ABS wheel sensors and all that?
That's also another reason why I don't want to boost it. We'll make more than 500 wheel, because it's going to be a go-kart. There's no ABS, no traction control.
Well, that's fun. Your foot is the traction control.
Right. I want to keep it manual, analog. Which is...
there's an appreciation for that, for sure.
And I think those are the best kind of cars. I drive the... Also, if I GTR, it doesn't matter if it's got 1,700 horsepower or stock power. I don't feel like I'm driving it. So I want a car that's mechanical.
Like I do have to ask though, because you've driven a lot more cars than I have, especially in the performance realm. How does my car stack up?
I definitely feel like I kept saying in the video, it's luxury performance. You know, it's
right.
No problem taking that cross country. At the same time, you have that power.
Right.
So it's a good combination of the two. It almost feels European, you know, right? It's solid.
Yeah.
You know, the chassis feels solid.
But I haven't had like the chance to drive Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Vipers, or Corvettes. Like
I haven't driven much of exotics, and to be honest, I don't really care.
Okay.
I'm more into stuff like this, DIY builds. You know, I don't really care about. It's to me, it's either or. When you combine 4 leather seat in a Lamborghini to a V10,
right?
Why combine? Put a bucket seat in there. Pick one or the other. You know.
Right. Yeah. Like, but it is interesting to see kind of where DIY can get you, because I think a lot of the misconceptions and a lot of people that aren't exactly either DIY oriented or aren't super into the car scene, they're a bit more of like kind of poster children, so to speak. Like they,
this is from my, I don't know, when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Nowadays I don't really care, but I
still
have it.
And the Vipers was always my dream car as a kid, Viper, and then Lamborghini Diablo, which is a kind of a funny Chrysler Lamborghini mixed merger thing. But even then, like, a lot of people say, why don't you just buy the car you want? And my dad always criticized me growing up. Why are you modding your Honda? Why are you modding your SRT4? Why are you modding your Genesis? Just buy the fast car you want and enjoy it. And part of me, no matter what car I get, says this could be improved.
Exactly.
And and if you just like, I love the R35 GTR. I love the R34 GTR. R34 just obviously has a lot of cool heritage, but you see the R35 out there, and it's like, all right, this is a $120,000 car new, but at the same time, what do you do to improve it? Yeah. Crazy, $30,000 upgrades and that kind of stuff, but what can you do in your garage?
There's
what
a couple
do you do
issues
without a machine shop?
When it comes to expensive cars, to me, for one, it's expensive. For two, like you said, no matter what happens, there's no such thing as a perfect car.
Right.
I'm gonna try to build this as perfect as I can, but it's never gonna be perfect. So I'll never be satisfied. Same thing with my house, my computer.
It's just the personality type, I guess, right?
And then another thing is, it's not cool. Like, it's just another. You buy a 458 Italian, it's just another 458 Italian. You buy the limited edition. You spend $50,000 in options, $100,000. Okay, cool, you have money, but there's nothing cool about that. You show up at a car meet. I'm not gonna go look at a 455A. I'm gonna look at the 463 swap.
Yeah, I'll pass it and be
I don't
like,
give a shit.
that's cool, that's fast. All right, what else has somebody done?
Yeah, there's nothing cool about that.
Right,
you're just paying somebody for brand, somebody for
It's a step, in my opinion. It's a step below going to a shop and having somebody else do the work. There isn't that pride there.
Agreed. It's almost as bad as dropping your car for the shop.
Yeah,
it's as bad.
Right. At least you maybe thought about the mods. Hopefully you didn't say free reign. Do what you want. But at the same time, there are people that do that. They say, build me a fast car, whatever you want, and then props to the shop for doing it. But at the same time, it's a bit on the owner. I see them driving around like, oh, this is my car. Yeah, it's kind of your car.
I just want to be proud of something I paid for. Right? I kind of want to make it my own, build it. Except for Lotus enthusiasts, because they're the funnest cars.
There's so many fun cars.
Like a Lamborghini, like if I had money, I'd probably buy like Ariel Atom or like Lotus.
Oh
Exige.
Yeah, the Ariel Atom would be awesome. The Exige for sure. I think they stopped allowing those in the U.S. right after the airbag regulations.
Yeah, the V6 ones, the new ones.
That'd be awesome to somehow.
Yeah, that's different. That's not flashy.
Awesome.
Whenever you see somebody in it, it's a car guy.
Yeah,
like the Miata guy.
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, you're a car guy. Not some douchebag with money.
Not some guy just throwing stuff at it.
Or like classic cars. That's why I like my Datsun so much. It's different. It's unique.
It is definitely a cool car. Yeah. And it stands out. That's one of those cars that people look at and they have no idea what they're looking at. Yeah. I bet people say, is it an old Corvette, an old Mustang?
I do get Mustangs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I love the fact that people appreciate the design. I don't really care. I don't want attention. I don't like attention, but that car gets more attention.
You got a lot of nice cars that get attention.
Yeah. I get unwanted attention.
Oh, yeah, on the Evo for sure.
I don't want any attention. I just want to have fun, but yeah, unfortunately. That's why it's black with bronze wheels. Instead of green wheels, and it was ridiculous. So much tickets.
Oh, you posted your tickets up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I have gotten very few tickets, luckily.
That's my ticket. So yeah,
So yeah,
I'm gonna keep track dedicated to
Mhm.
this car. I don't,
it's a good way to get the fun out safely. You know,
yeah,
that's the other thing too with autocross. It's accessible. Drift events are accessible. You learn about how your car handles in emergency situations. Let's call it. Never tell your insurance company. I found out.
yeah.
They found out that I was racing at autocross, and USAA dropped me from their policy. They're like, we
Really?
cannot insure you because you go to autocross events. And I go, I'm a better driver than 99% of the people on the road because I learn about my car.
Yeah,
And you're telling me that makes me uninsurable?
I
So
agree.
it's like,
when
wow, it's like driving lessons. Like, you should be better.
Yeah, like when I crashed my Evo, the viral video, I'm not sure if you saw in the snow, I wouldn't have been able to let go of the gas, and because ABS is useless in snow condition.
Exactly.
I would have known to let go of, not the gas, the brake, to gain
Let off. Yeah,
control
exactly.
if it wasn't for parking lot snow drifting. Like,
Exactly.
I would have no idea.
Same thing with when I learned about driving my front wheel drive SRT Ford on autocross, and I was getting understeer, and intuitively you're not steering as much as you want, so you steer more. But what you need to do is actually release the steering, get out of it a little bit to regain traction. You'll turn sharper.
Yeah.
So it's counterintuitive, but at the same time, that was an awesome lesson that guy taught me. He was an instructor, and that has been so much more valuable than almost any driving course out there that says, do the speed limit.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Modern cars are safe enough to do double the speed limit.
Oh yeah, I see those
limits-
suggested signs.
Speed limits
My
from the
my
80s.
goal is like it tells
Suggested, like what?
me it tells me to do 40. My goal is double it. Like
Yeah.
that's I want to do 80 on that turn. You know, at 25, I'm doing 50 or 60.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that's the goal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm not in the Model T. Like what is
Exactly.
this 25 bullshit?
Yeah, get out of here.
I double that in my Datsun.
Exactly.
It's like-
Oh, it's so much fun. So the one question I do want to circle back to, just because I love GTRs, is my car faster than a GTR? Obviously, it has no traction.
It's
But when it
it's
has traction,
completely
how does
different
it
feel?
It's a different feel.
It's different, and I didn't get traction.
Yeah, that too.
I didn't.
And
get
you were
traction.
on lower boost too.
Yeah,
You know, 10 psi versus the 12.
I feel like GTR, at least the ones I've driven, has more punch with
Off
the
the
way
line.
boost comes on.
Okay.
I feel like your car is more linear.
Because they're both 3.8s. They're both turbos. They have twin turbos. I have single turbo. So the single turbo is going to have more lag, more slow build-up and progression versus the punch of twins.
But I feel like your car is very linear for a single. It doesn't feel like it's boosted.
I think because it has the V6 torque down low. It's funny with the V8 here saying V6 torque, but the V6 torque down low, and then the turbo kind of carries it off that. Versus with a 4-cylinder, you don't have that torque down low, so your surge is quite aggressive. And then, of course, the GTR having its twin turbo is more capable than the single that I have.
Part of it might be because it's always drive, and I was cutting it from
stop.
bottom.
Yeah.
You know, because this I was easing into it because I knew it was useless. That's
Exactly.
another reason why I felt like that.
But then the other thing,
it's spinning.
Yeah, and that's the thing too.
Cold,
Is every car comes down to how it's going to be used. You know, a GTR is great in a lot of applications. Obviously, off the line, way better than my car. And I don't care. I'm not one that's like, if I get smoked by a Honda, I get smoked by a Honda. It's a sad day, but it'll happen.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, if I beat a GTR from a roll, I'll be happy.
It'd be a good race, I think.
It'd be fun.
But your car is more fun to drive.
Yeah.
It's manual and it spins the wheel. And GTR it's just on off switch. It gets
It's almost
traction,
like
just
driving.
goes. It's like a roller coaster, just straight line.
Too video gamey, I guess, because it's the
That's what I
auto Tektronix or paddle shift and all that kind of well, dual clutch at least, but still.
If I had a GTR, it'd be sequential for sure.
Yeah.
And
I have an R34 dream build that I'll maybe never afford, but
it's
did you see the
my dream car.
Oh yeah, in that blue, it's the perfect.
Yeah.
Did you ever see it's out of Australia. They did an R34 swap with an R35 engine. So they put the VR38, VR35.
I've seen that in Japan too. I've seen a fucking Datsun 280Z with a VQ35 swap.
Really?
In Japan.
That's impressive.
And they even swapped dashboard.
Oh wow.
GTR dashboard.
Jeez. Did they go rear wheel drive on, and they kept all wheel drive,
I
or
don't know. It was a
okay?
auto salon.
Okay.
Or something. Yeah, and they have. I've seen a V. Did I say V swap? I've seen a Z swapped Z, like 70 Z swapped Z. With the full interior. I've seen R32 was a full R35.
Jeez.
Swap and some crazy shit that never gets around the world.
That one.
I've seen a van that was R34 RB26 swapped with R34.
They're doing. There's a couple people doing the RB swap Genesis, which is interesting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know where they're finding these awesome parts for any affordable price, but
you're just paying for the name,
right?
It doesn't make sense.
But in my head, if you there's certain aspects of it that matter. Like if you're gonna go 2JZ, you want a straight cylinder 6, whatever, that's cheaper.
Yeah.
But if you get the R34, the RB26, if you get any of those variants, it's cool. But if you don't keep kind of the goods of it, if you don't keep the all-wheel drive system, you're losing out on potential of that engine. And in my opinion, I mean, again, everyone does their builds differently and looks for different things, but all-wheel drive Genesis Coupe would be insane. Maybe if I actually get a sponsor from Nissan or something, which I don't think they'd sponsor a Hyundai build, but still, can dream.
You should drive my first 2JZ Genesis. That's the same power, but that shit hits hard.
Oh yeah,
it's probably making less power than you when I drove it, but man, that thing hits.
Damn,
doesn't hit any, and that's a straight 6, right? So
yeah,
it hits so hard. It just spins everywhere.
Yeah, is he running good tires on there too, or is he?
He is on drag
radials
now.
Okay. Oh, now. When you drove it, just regular street tires or Pilot Super Sports or something?
Yeah, something.
I'm on kind of cheapy wide tires. Sumitomo's. Pretty much. But at least drift with somewhat grip. You know, I had the Bridgestone RE70s, and they were slicker than this, and I didn't like those. They didn't grip for anything. I was drifting, and there were 295s, and I was drifting everything. Do you know the originality of this thing? Can you explain that a little bit? Because I've heard rumors of it, but being that obviously I didn't learn to drive in Japan or anything like, I don't have the. I didn't get any driving culture there.
This is a leaf. Basically, this is. So you got the green leaf and the yellow leaf, and the yellow leaf is basically dying leaf, which represents falling leaf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's called Wakawa mark. Actually, no, hold on. Let me redo that. This is young leaf. So this is for the beginner drivers. I'm saying.
Okay.
Wakawa mark. So here, beginner driver, you have to have this in Japan.
Just the yellow part or the yellow green?
This whole
thing.
Oh,
okay, the whole thing. So that's like the P plates in Australia then?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
You have to have this for first year after ownership. I got this at a shop in Japan just because, just as a joke. You know. It's magnetic. This car's gonna get wrapped. I don't really care about the body.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you're gonna smash it so much.
Yeah,
it's easier to rewrap it than repaint it.
I don't really care. I'd rather have a car where it's smashed up than to smash up a nice car. So, yeah, I don't care.
So many nice parts. This thing's gonna be a blast.
Mechanically, it'd be nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It'd be a blast.
Is it gonna have a passenger seat?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I hate when people build cars and don't have a passenger seat. And I'm like, if you're not gonna let me drive it, at least take me for a ride. You know, I don't care if I'm not driving, but like, let me enjoy it. Let someone else enjoy the car.
Yeah, unless it's like a drag car with like big nitro spotters.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you're a top thrill dragster or some craziness, then sure, go ahead. I don't want to ride in your car anyway.
Yeah, I got a space there. Yeah, I got space there. You know,
oh yeah, nice. I appreciate kind of the mini interview and of course you driving my car. That was fun.
We should do like podcast like video or something too.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Do you do podcasting? Is that kind of a?
I don't
either. I'm just kind of.
But you know, just sit down, chat, maybe grab another YouTuber.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I know because we have Ryan and Muscle vs. Tuner aren't. Well, they're about 5 hours away. I drove down there for import face-off and whatnot. We got one run on the drag strip, and the controller I have hit overboost, so it basically shuts off the electric boost controller, and you run on a wastegate spring. So I ran 7 psi the whole way down the track, and it was the most disappointing one run I got all day.
You only got one, right?
I got one on import face-off. It sucked, and it's really a shame.